speaking of across the board, let's talk about across the country. Up north in Canada, the Canadian Freedom Convoy continues. The very latest is the police, for the most part, have said, you got to get out of here. And they've been handing the truckers who are still parked there in Ottawa notices, you're going to get in trouble. We don't know exactly how much, but at this point, a number of the truckers have gone home, but a number of the truckers are staying put.
Yeah, so there was a heated exchange in Parliament. Justin Trudeau has just been saying, you know, these are swastika flying protesters and they're flying Confederate flags. Most of these people are good people. They're hardworking, blue-collar men and women who are driving these trucks, getting all the goods that Justin Trudeau needs onto the shelves in their stores up in Canada. And he had a heated exchange with this girl. Her name is Melissa Lantsman. She's 37 years old. She's a conservative. She's a member of Parliament. Listen to their exchange. And she's Jewish. Keep that in mind.
If Canadians are to trust their government needs to trust Canadians. Those are the words of the Prime Minister in 2015. These people, very often misogynistic, racist, women haters, science deniers, the fringe. Same Prime Minister 6 years later as he fans the flames of an unjustified national emergency. So, Mr. Speaker, when did the Prime Minister lose his way? When did it happen?
Mr. Speaker, Conservative Party members can stand with people who wave swastikas. They can stand with people who wave the Confederate flag. We will choose to stand with Canadians who deserve to be able to get to their jobs, who be able to get their lives back.
You know, it's so clear. Justin Trudeau, they say, is a savvy politician. I'm not seeing it. If you want to side, you say, I feel bad for the people of Ottawa who can't get to school, can't get to work in an expeditious time because the truckers are there. I understand their frustration, but right now, this is the rules passed. We're going to examine them over the next few weeks. 5 provinces have dialed back the restrictions. Those are the types of things you do if you're even if a basic politician, let a guy that won election a couple of times, but he seems determined to alienate all blue-collar people, as well as label them extremists, fringe, and now Nazis. Melissa Lantsman wants an apology, and she's demanding it. She was on with Laura Ingraham yesterday, and so far, she didn't get it.
Look, this is not a surprise to me. You just said it. This is his true colors. I sit there and watch him divide and wedge and stigmatize Canadians every single day. And today, the rest of Canada saw a G7 Prime Minister go after a Jewish member of Parliament and then walk away and not apologize. If he wants to end this today, he could have done that 19 days ago before putting forward a national emergency that is not justified. He could have gone out and talked to people rather than calling them racist and misogynist, and we could have put an end to this. He can drop the mandates and he can drop the restrictions today, and I think that we will have a much more cohesive country.
Yeah, I also, when it comes to the actual convoy itself, I don't know how they keep it together. Your vehicle, this is what they put, they gave them these lists. Your vehicle could be, and property may be seized and removed. You may be arrested and charged with criminal offenses. Your driver's license may be suspended or canceled. Your personal or business bank accounts, including virtual currency, may be subject to examination and restriction. So if you're out here, blue-collar wages, even though they're good wages, you say to yourself, I haven't really made any money for 20 days, and now they're going to take my license and take away from my livelihood, which could happen because this has never happened in Canada's past.
Some say it's worth it. I'm going to stand my ground, and it's working. The truckers are winning. Did y'all know that in 5 Canadian provinces, they are lifting the mandates? They're saying, we've had enough. We want this to end. It's a huge win for them, and if they remain peaceful, I think Justin Trudeau is going to have to...
Well, that's another option would be, Ainsley, they could call a press conference and say what you just said, and add Ontario into that because they're dialing it back. They have a date to get rid of all of it, and say, you know, we've seen movement in 6, 7, 8 provinces.
You know what a good leader
That's
does,
enough.
Though? A good leader says, all right, let me listen to both sides, and let's come up with a compromise. All right, what would work?
That would be great.
Can we test you then? If you don't want to get vaccinated, let me test you.
Like the beer summit.
Let me test your antibodies.
Bring both sides in. Let's talk about that.
You don't just shut down their livelihood.
No, I know. Yeah. But the thing is, regarding the truckers, is when you think about it, they are faced with complete bankruptcy. We're going to take away your truck. We're going to take away all this stuff. We're going to take away your license. But they're still doing it because they believe in it.
Well,
and that is why it is
working.
so powerful.
It's working. Look what happened in Virginia, here in America, where all these parents fought back, and then Glenn Youngkin, who's saying no more masks, who's saying, you know, we're going to change all these mandates, no CRT, and he won. So people are fighting back now. They're standing their ground. So I'm proud of these truckers for doing that, if that's what they believe in.
And and he signed that bill yesterday that said masks in the Commonwealth are now optional.
And it passed in the Senate, and it passed in the House.
Yep.
All right. And I just wonder how much pressure the Biden administration is putting on Justin Trudeau. That's what I think a story, too, is America forcing this hard line.